So, lads, Caitlin Clark playing one of the three best games of her career against the undefeated New York Liberty. You can't even, like, has basically broken. It has broken the Caitlin Clark haters. So, Caitlin Clark had played the best first half I've seen from a player in 2 years. And I've watched a lot of games. I watched Fee earlier today, which was up there with the best halves. I watched Paige a few days ago. Paige at 22 in the first half. She was incredible.
Caitlin Clark's post-game comments have sparked significant discussion following the Indiana Fever's victory. Her statement that this is how the Fever are supposed to play basketball has been interpreted as criticism of coaching strategies employed during her absence. The remarks appear to reference the team's tactical approach, particularly their tendency to slow down gameplay when holding comfortable leads. During the recent game, the Fever held a substantial advantage, but nearly squandered it by attempting to control the clock rather than maintaining their aggressive style.
So I watched all these players. I watched the most of the big games last year. I watched when Aja had 40 something against Dallas, although somehow they lost when she had 41 against Dallas. But today we saw Caitlin have an unbelievable half and a decent second half, in my opinion. Look, 6 assists. Again, did turn the ball over a little bit, which wasn't the greatest half, but 7.6 assists.
This victory marked only the second significant win for Indiana against teams other than Chicago over the past 2 seasons. The Sky remain the only opponent the Fever have consistently dominated during this period. Clark's performance included impressive scoring, though she fell short of the WNBA single-game 3-point record of 9, currently held by Rhyne Howard and Arike Ogunbowale. Notably, when Ogunbowale set her record against Indiana, the Fever still secured the victory, demonstrating their resilience even when opponents achieve individual milestones.
4 boards is not a bad half. Like, that's 14-12 if she was on for that for the whole time. That's actually that's not bad at all, to be honest. That's really not bad at all. But it has broken the Caitlin Clark haters. So during that half, all they were talking about was, late in the game, Caitlin Clark had 25 in the first half. She would hit 6 threes. I think it was up there. I think it was one of the most in a half in WNBA history.
The game against New York showcased everything working correctly for Indiana. Despite facing a Liberty team not at full strength, the Fever executed their game plan effectively. Late-game situations highlighted the importance of getting Clark involved, as her ability to penetrate defenses creates opportunities for teammates like Aaliyah Boston on follow-up plays. The fundamental issue centers on pace and tempo. Effective fast-paced basketball differs from simply running frantically. True tempo involves maintaining consistent forward momentum and quick decision making. The Phoenix Suns' 7 seconds or less system exemplified this concept, where Steve Nash, despite being among the slower point guards physically, orchestrated one of the fastest playing teams through superior pace management.
And Natasha Howard, Caitlin Clark is wide open, and Natasha Howard looks at her and chooses her own number. And by the way, Natasha Howard in the for the entire game was -15. She was 1 of 4 from the field, albeit she did score in that possession. It's the only possession she scored on the entire game. She looked off Caitlin. And Caitlin just threw her arms up. Is it what you want to see from a player? Of course not. But at the end of the day, it happens. It happens. And if you've ever played basketball, and I mean this, if you have ever played the sport of basketball, and you have...
Indiana struggles significantly when forced into slower, methodical gameplay. Their strength lies in up-tempo basketball, where they can dictate terms to opponents. When leading by substantial margins, the team should focus on extending advantages rather than protecting them through conservative play. The Fever recorded 19 fast break points, though WNBA statistical tracking for such plays requires specific circumstances like live ball turnovers. While New York generated more fast break opportunities due to Indiana's defensive lapses, the overall pace favored the home team. Coaching philosophy often equates control with reduced tempo, but genuine control means playing at your preferred pace. Fast-paced teams naturally surrender more transition points, but forcing opponents to match your style typically yields positive results when executed properly. Clark understands this dynamic completely. Teams that can impose their preferred tempo on opponents gain significant advantages, even if defensive statistics suffer. Indiana's success comes through pushing pace rather than grinding out possessions.
and you play on a team with a shot chucker, you know how annoying it can be. And yeah, would it be better if she didn't throw her hands up, this guy? Sure. But she got back on defense after the score, so I don't really care. Kobe, Luka, I don't watch enough Shea. Kobe, Luka, Jokic, LeBron, Jordan, every single one of them have done the same thing on the floor, so I don't care. But
defensive ratings become secondary when offensive execution generates consistent victories. The Fever should prioritize winning games through their natural style rather than conforming to conventional defensive metrics. Close victories achieved through pace and tempo prove more sustainable than attempting to transform the team's fundamental identity. If coaching staff prefers different tactical approaches, trading Clarke would generate enormous returns given her value. Her presence not only provides championship potential but also increases franchise valuation exponentially. Organizations must decide whether to maximize her unique abilities or pursue alternative roster construction. The evidence strongly supports embracing Clarke's preferred style, as her impact extends beyond individual performance to elevate the entire team's effectiveness when properly utilized.
All they were talking about at halftime, viral tweets being like, Caitlin Clarke is a disgrace, her body language, and it's like, man, she just dropped 25 points. You just hate Caitlin. And I'm looking, WNBA Threads is even hilarious. I'm just going to say is I hate Caitlin Clarke, no way around it. She makes me the F sick. You will not convince me the WNBA is not scripted. I'm 100% certain now. And this is apparently scripted for Caitlin Clarke. They put the magnets on the basket apparently.
Caitlin Clarke delivered what many consider among her top 3 career performances against the previously undefeated New York Liberty, a display that has sent her detractors into complete meltdown mode. The Indiana Fever guard's exceptional showing has essentially shattered the composure of those who regularly criticize her play. Clarke's opening half ranks among the finest individual performances witnessed in recent seasons across women's basketball. Various standout performances have occurred recently, including impressive showings from other top players, but Clarke's first half dominance stood out remarkably. Her 25-point explosion in those initial 2 quarters, combined with 6 successful 3-point attempts, approached WNBA records for most threes made in a single half. The second half saw Clarke contribute 7 points and 6 assists, along with 4 rebounds, while dealing with some turnover issues. Despite the ball handling struggles, her overall contribution remained solid, projecting to strong full-game numbers had she maintained that pace throughout.
They put the magnets on the basket. Like, that's all I'm going to say. The magnets on the basket. Like, this is like, these Caitlin Clarke haters are unhinged. They're unhinged. Like, that is the only way I can describe it. Like, they are absolutely unhinged. So, yeah, like, there are other ones right here. So we're bringing in a bunch of them. I'm blocking the names because I don't even have threads. And let's be real, you guys probably don't have threads either, so it doesn't really matter.
During the contest, a notable incident occurred when Natasha Howard, despite Clarke being wide open after her hot shooting start, chose to take her own shot instead of passing. Howard finished the game with poor statistics, going 1 for 4 from the field, and posting a -15 rating, though she did score on that particular possession, her only successful field goal attempt. Clarke's visible frustration with the decision, throwing her arms up in disappointment, became a focal point for critics. This type of reaction occurs regularly in basketball when players feel overlooked by teammates, particularly when dealing with shot-heavy players. Every elite competitor, from Kobe Bryant to LeBron James to Michael Jordan, has displayed similar frustration when teammates make questionable shot selections. Clarke returned to defensive duties after the play, showing proper team focus. The halftime discussion period became dominated by viral social media posts, attacking Clarke's body language rather than acknowledging her outstanding 25. Critics flooded platforms with complaints, with some going as far as claiming the WNBA manipulates games in Clarke's favor, suggesting magnetic baskets and scripted outcomes.
Fever games have to be the most effing unpleasant watching experience in most people's impressions with the W. Libs take the first out. Media will go on with the Fever and CC for days, and then we'll be right back to regular schedule programming. We were missing 2 starters. Their starter went off. It is what it is. It's a bigger picture, man. I don't even mind this tweet. They were missing 2 starters. They still had their most important player. The player who wears the black and white short sleeve top. So Sabrina Ionescu hits 1 deep 3.
These extreme reactions highlight the unhinged nature of Clark's opposition. Social media threads filled with inflammatory comments about her performance despite the statistical excellence she displayed. Some posts acknowledged the Liberty missing key starters but maintained their critical stance. The pattern of hatred extends beyond Clark to other prominent players. Before Clark's emergence, similar criticism targeted players like Sabrina Ionescu and Paige Beakers. The same voices that now attack Clark previously directed their negativity toward these other stars, suggesting a pattern of targeting whoever receives the most attention. When Ionescu hit a deep three-pointer during the game, critics dismissed it as unimpressive, though they would have praised multiple makes from the same range. The conspiracy theories escalated, with some suggesting the Liberty organization was paid to lose their undefeated streak, unable to accept that superior play led to the outcome.
Sabrina hits one deep three. And by the way, these people hated Sabrina. Let's never forget. Let's never forget what these people have, what some of these people, I'm not talking about these people specifically, which is, again, I'm not putting words in their mouth because which is the reason why I'm blocking their names and their profile pictures. But let's be real. A certain journalist said the same. There's a certain journalist who works for a company that I'm not going to name because it could maybe be tracked down to them, who is basically all they do is anti-Caitlin Clark. They don't know a first thing about the sport of basketball. They're just anti-Caitlin Clark. But it is
Credentialed media personalities joined the criticism, with some referring to Clark using derogatory nicknames and focusing entirely on negative aspects while ignoring her achievements. One particular incident involved a journalist using dismissive language about Clark's performance, calling her a corn muffin and expressing frustration at her open shots. The response pattern reveals that previous claims of not hating Clark, just her fans, were dishonest. The criticism clearly targets Clark personally, often ignoring basketball fundamentals and focusing on manufactured controversies. When Clark produces exceptional performances, critics shift focus to minor behavioral issues rather than acknowledging her skills. The same individuals who criticize Clark's occasional defensive lapses ignore similar or worse behavior from their preferred players. Their favorite players often show less hustle getting back on defense and commit more egregious body language violations, yet receive no similar scrutiny.
guys, any of you guys hear Caitlin Clark? Did any of you guys hear Caitlin Clark after the game? I'm going to see if I can get the clip. I'm going to see if I can get the clip right here. And this sums it all up. This sums it all up. Sums it all up. Caitlin Clark, by the way, came out and just dominated.
Historical context shows that legendary players face similar criticism for demanding excellence from teammates. Michael Jordan's reactions to poor teammate decisions became legendary, while Kobe Bryant's intensity with teammates like Jeremy Lin created memorable moments. Diana Taurasi, widely respected for her competitive fire, would likely react similarly in comparable situations. The competitive mentality that fans claim to want from players becomes problematic only when displayed by Clark. The same killer instinct praised in other contexts gets criticized when she shows frustration with suboptimal team play. Credentialed journalists have made troubling comments about Clark, including references to her race and supposed privileges, while others have endorsed derogatory nicknames through social media interactions. These incidents reveal biases that extend beyond basketball analysis into personal attacks.
Caitlin Clark, LeBron James is out here saying the Caitlin Clark effect. Welcome back, you were missed. And Caitlin Clark comes out. There's no clip, but enough people have tweeted it. Enough people have tweeted it. But Caitlin Clark, that's how the Fever are supposed to play basketball. That's how they're supposed to play basketball. I agree. I agree. You heard in the ESPN interview. I agree.
The reaction to Clark's outstanding performance against the Liberty exposed the true nature of her criticism. Rather than celebrating exceptional basketball, critics searched for reasons to maintain their negative narrative. The 25-point half received minimal acknowledgement while minor behavioral moments dominated discussion. This pattern demonstrates that the opposition to Clark stems from factors beyond basketball performance. When presented with undeniable excellence, critics either ignore it entirely or create conspiracy theories to explain it away. The magnetic basket claims and scripted game allegations show how far some will go to avoid acknowledging her legitimate achievements. The intensity of the backlash following such a dominant performance proves that basketball merit plays little role in the criticism. Elite players throughout history have shown similar competitive fire, yet only Clark faces this level of scrutiny for standard competitive behavior. The day's events clearly demonstrated that Clark's detractors struggle to maintain their narrative when confronted with elite performances. The response reveals more about their motivations than about Clark's actual play, as they scramble to find fault with genuinely impressive basketball displays.
Yup. I'm gonna say it. Caitlin Clark is the best basketball player in the world. She's the best basketball player that I have ever seen. She is the difference maker. She is the needle mover. She is the face of basketball right now. It's really hard not to recognize the difference that she makes on the Indiana Fever, a team that was obviously struggling with playmaking, struggling with pacing, struggling with the things that make us want to watch. And she steps into that court, and in the first quarter, she made 3 threes in 38 seconds.
The Indiana Fever secured a significant victory against the previously unbeaten New York Liberty with a final score of 102-288. This triumph marked a crucial moment for the Fever's season, bringing their record to Clark delivered what can only be described as one of the most spectacular individual displays in recent basketball memory. Her 32-point explosion represented a career-tying achievement that will be remembered as legendary. The rookie sensation demonstrated extraordinary range and precision, particularly during the opening 2 quarters.
I am that person when I watch games. There was actually a moment where, where Breanna Stewart was giving her a lot of space. She shoots it from the logo, she drills it, and right afterwards, I think all Breanna Stewart could do is kind of laugh about it. I actually loved that moment. I was live with Venom. We do our little watch parties, and the watch party today was just so much fun. Everybody in the chat got involved. If you ever do feel like joining a chat when you're watching the game, you should pop on by.
Clark's statistical contribution extended far beyond scoring. She nearly achieved a triple-double with 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists, while also contributing 2 block shots. This comprehensive stat line ranks among the most impressive performances seen in professional basketball, regardless of league. Remarkably, Clark accomplished this feat without recording a single offensive rebound, highlighting her diverse impact on the game. The standout performer connected on 7 of 14 three-point attempts, showcasing remarkable accuracy from beyond the arc. At various points during the contest, her shooting percentage from long range reached exceptional levels, with stretches of near-perfect execution. Clark's overall field goal percentage stood at 11 of 20 attempts during her 31 minutes of action.
But here's the thing, the New York Liberty, they played really well too. So the Indiana Fever, it's like BC, like, you know, BC before Christ, only like before Caitlin. It's the Indiana Fever before Caitlin and the Indiana Fever after Caitlin. She is like 1000% the difference maker. She makes this team look like a contending team, which is like shocking to say after seeing them play without her. I do a power ranking for women's fast break on SI every week, and last week I had to put them at number 6, but I guarantee you they're definitely going to be bumping up a couple notches. And you know, while Caitlin Clark came out of the gates absolutely swinging,
one particular highlight included Clark becoming the 4th fastest player in WNBA history to reach 150 career points, achieving this milestone during the first half of the game. Lexi Hall provided crucial offensive support, converting 3 of 4 three-point attempts en route to 14. Her timely shooting proved essential during critical moments of the contest. Sophie Cunningham delivered a momentum-shifting three-pointer late in the game that effectively sealed the victory for Indiana.